Drinking town with a football problem. The two main things we all have in common.
What's up, everybody? This is Nick back with my Week 13 picks. I hope everybody had a great Week 12, having a good time with their families on Thanksgiving. I know I had a great time watching my Vikings beat the Lions in Detroit. It's a fantastic game, and now we're sitting at 9-2, and damn, it feels good. On to my Week 13 picks. At quarterback this week, I'm going with Jared Goff at 6,700 versus the Cardinals. I think Jared Goff is in a great position here. He's still under 7,000, and I think this is just perfect for him. He's put up some good games in the past year recently. He put up 31 against the Giants. He put up 29 against Houston, 23.8 against the Saints last week. The only bad game he had recently was against Minnesota, and Minnesota's got a really good defense. I mean, I would know. I'm a Vikings fan. Goff really thrives in favorable matchups, and this week is favorable against the pass. The Cardinals are ranked 18th, so it's not that great. And the last time Goff faced the Cardinals was earlier this year when he wasn't as hot, and he put up 20 DraftKings points. So I'm looking for Goff to have a good game here. As you see, he put up 9 touchdowns in his last 3 of his last 4 games, and he's had a solid 23, 29, and 31. So I'm looking for Goff to have a good game. Next up, I'm sticking with the Rams at running back. I'm going with Todd Gurley at 8,200. I think Gurley's going to have a good game too. Last time he went up against Arizona earlier this year, he put up 28.4 DraftKings points. He's a real dual threat back. He can catch it in the air, he can run it, and I think he's going to get some goal line touches this game and possibly put up a touchdown or two. So I'm looking for Gurley to have a big game. Wide receiver, my stack with Jared Goff is going to be Cooper Kupp. I really like Cooper Kupp here at 6,400 versus the Cardinals. He's got 25 targets in his last 3 games, and Woods is still inactive, so this is going to open up a lot more opportunity for Kupp. We saw Woods was inactive last week, and Kupp put up 22.6 and was targeted 11 times. It's a pretty good game for Kupp, and he didn't even have a touchdown. I'm expecting him to possibly get a touchdown in this next game versus the Cardinals. The reason why I didn't go with Sammy Watkins is because I really think that Patrick Peterson is going to be on Sammy Watkins most of the day. I think Cooper Kupp is just a better pick here this week. Moving on to my next running back. This might be a really chalky play, but I really like Jordan Howard this week at 6,500. He's a huge part of the Chicago Bears offense, and if you look at his game log, he has had a real roller coaster season. But I think he's due for a big game here, especially in this matchup against the 49ers, where their rush D is ranked 30th, giving up 129.5 rush yards a game. That is just awful. The 49ers also have given up 10 touchdowns and the most fantasy points to backs this season. So look for Jordan Howard to have a big game. Moving on to wide receiver here. My next wide receiver is going to be D.D. Westbrook. I also think you could go with Dontrell Inman here, but I think D.D. Westbrook is going to be my pick. Really, either one works. I think they could both absolutely have monster games as sleepers. I just see more athletic upside with D.D. Westbrook. But he's been targeted 16 times in his last 2 games, and he's slowly putting up more points here. I really think in this matchup versus the Colts, with their pass D ranked 30th, is absolutely horrible. I do think that they'll be running the ball quite a bit, but I do think when they are throwing it, D.D. Westbrook is going to get a lot of looks, and I think he's going to break a big one, and everyone's going to wish they had him. My next wide receiver is going to be Mr. Consistency, DeAndre Hopkins. He's been absolutely on fire all year. He's only had a couple dud games this year, and if you look at his game log, he's put up 22, 17, 21, 20, 39. He's also got a pretty decent matchup with the pass D of the Titans is ranked 20th, and I'm pretty sure they're just absolutely horrible to wideouts. DeAndre Hopkins also seems to thrive no matter who the quarterback is, whether it's Deshaun Watson or Tom Savage. I mean, when Savage came in, his numbers dropped a little bit, but he's still putting up at least 20 plus each week. And I think in this matchup, he could well cover his $7,300 salary, going with DeAndre Hopkins. At tight end, I'm going with the Cardinals, and I'm going with Ricky Seals-Jones. I understand he's got a little bit of a rough matchup this week against the Rams, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. He's been absolutely on fire in his last 2 games, and he's definitely a huge red zone threat for the Cardinals and their best pass catching tight end. He's seen 11 targets in his last 2 games, and he's put up 3 touchdowns. He's got 20.4 and 17.2 in his last 2 weeks. His salary only got bumped up to 32, and I think he's going to get another touchdown or 2 here in this next game versus the Rams. Because I think if Arizona gets down in the red zone, I think Ricky Seals-Jones is going to be their main target. He's going to get it, especially if AP's out. I mean, you got to go with Ricky Seals-Jones in the red zone. My flex for this week, I'm going with Rex Burkhead. A lot of people are saying, I mean, you could also go with Jamal Williams of the Packers, but Aaron Jones may be coming back, and I would not like to see Aaron Jones come back after I picked Jamal Williams and have him steal a bunch of touches. I'm going to go with Rex Burkhead. I think Rex Burkhead's a little bit of a safer pick. He is a little bit more expensive, but I can afford him this week. If you see his last couple of games, he's been really producing in his game log. 15, he had the one slower game, 7 there, and then 19.3. Last week he went off. He had 2 touchdowns. He had one on the ground, one through the air. He's just been a real seeker weapon for Brady this year. He's also getting attempts on the ground. He's getting a lot of targets through the air here. I just think he's got a great matchup too because Buffalo has been just absolutely horrible against backs on the ground, backs through the air, just backs in general. Buffalo has not been solid against them. So I really like Rex Burkhead here. I think he's going to have another big game. Probably get a goal line touch or 2, maybe get another touchdown. Defense, this is where I'm going to give a real GPP play for a defense. Going all the way down to the Jets. Some may be wondering why I'm going with the Jets. That seems like a total gamble. Like it seems just like a pick in the dark here. But I'm going with the Jets because the Chiefs are ice cold. They're scoring 17, 9, and 10 points in their last 3 games. Smith in his last 3 games has 3 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. And Kareem Hunt hasn't had a touchdown since week 3 on the ground or through the air. And he hasn't really produced well since week 6 or 7. I would know because I've gotten burned by him in the past couple of weeks. So the Jets defense could be a total sleeper. It also is a total gamble because I understand that the Chiefs also still have lots of offensive weapons in Tyreek Hill. Kareem Hunt I still think is a good player. But Alex Smith is kind of regressing and kind of falling back to earth. So I'm thinking the Jets they might be a good sleeper pick this week. Anyways, if you liked my picks for week 13, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Good luck to everybody and hope it's a very successful week 13.